Whole nation is eagerly waiting and keeping eye on Vinesh verdict, which is expected today by CAS. And joining me is Mr. Viduspat Shinghania ji. He is a legal counsel for Indian Olympic Association, and he was there during the hearing. Viduspat ji, how hopeful are you? And I mean, before that, what was your reaction when you came to know that Vinesh, she has been disqualified just before her final bout, and you have been approached and you are going to represent IOA in CAS?
I think prior to that, the fact that I have represented Vinesh earlier, be it with a fight against the Wrestling Federation when the show cause notice came to her, as well as earlier when certain anti doping notices had come to her. So I have already known Vinesh and I have represented her. So the first thing is when I was expecting her to see her on the fight the next day of final, and suddenly I start hearing news that she's disqualified. So I was completely crestfallen. Like there is some part I was cheering for her personally as well, and I was devastated. And I was just trying to understand that whether that is true or not. First, that was my first reaction. That whether that is true, I just could not believe it. Uh, After that, I think the authorities confirmed to me that yes, it is true. Uh, I was completely on the 7th when this was happening. No, not aware of anything further on that. Uh, what I thought is now let me do something, or if I can do something about it. So on the 8th, what I started doing is I started at least messaging the authority. These are the points that you need to take into account when you are filing your appeal, or at least when if you are in CAS, then these are the points that you need to consider. Uh, that's the exchange of messages that happened, and then post that fortunately CAS also said that yes, IOA is an interested party, and then they allowed us to file a reply or at least come on board. And then we got a few hours and not much time. We got three and a half, 4 hours maximum to actually coordinate, evaluate the rules, evaluate what was available in the media and the facts, and try to get some more information from the stakeholders. So everything was happening parallelly, and within 3-4 hours, we not only had to draft, we had to evaluate rules, regulation, we had to evaluate facts and file a response because there was a deadline to it. We were able to meet that deadline. We were able to present our submissions to CAS. Post that, we for again everything was happening parallelly. Post that, I think the authorities were able to get Mr. Hari Salve to accept the brief, and then we were able to send him the entire documents that were filed, and were able to brief him through the night so that he was prepared. And then not only the briefing happened in the night, it happened in the next morning as well, couple of times before the hearing.
So the day hearing happened, there was a kind of sense that, the day only will come to know the result. But it took too much time. I mean, that meeting at the hearing, I think, which went on for more than 3 hours. So if you can just give us some kind of sense that what exactly you and Harish ji, pointed out, and if you can just tell us about, if you can.
Sorry, the arguments, as I said, of CAS happen in camera. So we cannot reveal anything that happened during the hearing or our submissions at this point of time. Let the decision come out, and then we obviously will come out. I'm sure Salve sir will come out and give maybe a more detailed statement as well.
So you know Vinesh from very long time. You have represented her in many cases, but representing Vinesh, or giving your thoughts in this kind of case where she has been disqualified and we are fighting to get a medal, for her. How tough was that for you?
So fortunately, there is no conflict because I represented Vinesh a long time back. This was the IOA brief. It's just that when you know the athlete personally, you are personally in the sense you've dealt with her earlier. You are a bit more involved, and the fact that you've seen the fight that she has gone through. So I think, like the entire nation, your heart also beats for her.
Absolutely. But in India, we are expecting, and the India is actually praying for Vinesh, and she should get a medal over there. And she was very close, to get a gold medal for sure. But now things have changed. She is trying to get a medal legally. But how hopeful are you? Do you see any scope that, in the evening when the CAS will announce the order, that will be for sure, in favor of Vinesh?
I don't think I can say for sure in any hearing. I think in no judicial process you can say for surety. But the fact that the panel is considering the application and the submissions of all parties gives you hope. We are all hopeful that there is a chance that she gets a silver or at least gets some relief from the court.
Right. And also, what was the reason? I mean, this is just my curiosity. What was the reason? Because CAS is, is known for a fast track thing. They always give their order in 24 hours. But in this case, it's already 3 days now. So what was the reason?
I think the reason is what you said before that the hearing went out for over 3 hours. And the arbitrator needs more time to contemplate and understand the submissions. And in fact, she asked for further submissions, and the deadline for that was on Sunday, 9:30 India time. So we made further submissions there. So she's also evaluating a certain aspects, and she asked a few queries, and we've all the parties have responded to it. So she's contemplating on certain issues before she decides. So that is always good.
Is there when today is the final day, or do you see any kind of extension again? Because we have seen three extensions already.
I'm not the arbitrator. So, but as of now, from what I understand, the decision should come by evening today. But if in case the arbitrator feels that she needs more time, she would make an application to the CAS president and they have a right to extend time.
Would you like to add anything?
I think we all have to pray for Vinesh. And as I said, that if she wins the medal, excellent. If she does not win a medal, she is still a champion of the country, and we should respect her for that and her struggles, and we should treat her like a champion, regardless of what happens.
So thank you. This was Mr. Singhania. He is hopeful, and India is also very hopeful. And we'll come to know in the evening what exactly CAS is going to, announce in its verdict. This is Nitin Srivastava for India Today.